you've been very public that you were sexually abused
by a man that I didn't know. Yeah, I was 5 years old. It was one of my first core memories, was being sexually abused by a man that I didn't know. He was probably in his late teens. It was the babysitter's son. And it was kind of like a movie playing in my mind almost every single day for 25 years until I finally opened up about it.
Yeah.
And
literally no one knew?
No one knew. No one knew.
Not even your parents?
My parents didn't. I didn't tell anyone because I was so ashamed. If anyone knew this about me, why would anyone love or accept me?
Yeah, I can't even imagine bearing that.
And I also didn't, I feel like the world has changed a lot in the last, 5 to 7 years, but in many ways. But, there was never anyone talking about being sexually, as a boy, I didn't see athletes on TV saying I was sexually abused or this happened to me. Now you're seeing it a lot in the last 5 to 7 years. People are opening up and feeling more comfortable talking about it or just sharing about their experience. But growing up, I didn't see that. And also, I didn't have any friends. And I just wanted kids to accept me. So when I started playing sports and being on sports teams in my, 8, 9, 10, in my early teens, I was a very loving, playful kid also. And I just would put my arm around guys I'd play with. And they would push me off and they'd be like, don't be gay, don't be a girl, don't be a this, a sissy, whatever it is. They just say these words as if it was bad to be affectionate. And so I was like, oh, I can't even put my arm around a guy and without them making fun of me. If they knew this happened to me, no one would speak to me.
Especially back in that era.
No one. It would be like, you're weak, you're not enough, whatever. Right. And so I just buried it. And it was just like a memory that was constantly replaying this movie, this scene every day. And it was just terrifying me.
So when you went through your therapy journey, and since then, the reason I bring up shame is I think a lot of people have different levels of shame. I didn't raise my kids the way I wanted to. Yeah. It could be a variety of things here. There's a lot of shame. My question to you is, how have you got on the other side? How did you shake the shame? Does it still pop up?
That doesn't pop up for me anymore because I have done so much. I've spoken it out of me.
That's good.
To where I feel like if you're not able to speak about something, that thing has power over you.
So it's lost power because you've shared it.
It's lost
so much
power.
light.
I mean, I don't want it to, I've talked about it often as it's a part of a story that I share, that I don't want to say it's as simple as taking a sip of water and feeling comfortable, but I've released that trauma from my body. I've forgiven myself. I've forgiven the person. I've never seen the person, but in my mind, I've forgiven that. And I've created new meaning from that memory. You were talking about our beliefs early on. That the meaning I gave that memory in that moment in time was, I'm someone who people can abuse, people can take advantage of, people can discard. I'm beneath people. I'm not respectable. All these things that my little brain started to form, these beliefs, along with all these other things that happened that backed this belief, that I was able to find the backing of the belief. And so therefore, I lived in accordance with my behaviors. But I was always conflicted because I wanted to behave better. And so that's one of the reasons why I left home, because I was like, I want to start just being around better kids. I want to start doing better things and shifting this behavior.
How much role did they play? You've mentioned that group twice, and I want to follow up on that. Yeah. How much influence did those better kids have on you? Given all the brokenness and all the pain that you're dealing with.
I mean, listen, kids at all levels can be like mean or this and that. It's not like they were perfect or whatever, but that environment, it was a Christian school. It was away from home. It was very strict. But I needed boundaries. I needed structure because I didn't have it. I was living in fear. I wasn't living in structure. And the structure created a sense of safety with me. Even, we had a dress code and you had to get up early and clean your room. I was living in a dorm with boys. It was you had to do all these things that weren't enjoyable. But at the same time, the structure created a sense of safety and it created a sense of discipline and accomplishment within me. So I could see myself growing.
How much did the faith and Bible stuff stick?
I think it stuck a lot. Although I think it, in my 20s, once I left and my dad and not having no money and I got injured, I was kind of all right, well, let me just go explore life, And so I think I went away from it a little bit, but it was always underneath me. It was the concept was always there.